Everybody, so here we are at Truly Tropical, and here's Chris and his Alex from Tropical Acres Farms, and you two are both the most biggest and popular mango growers here in the West Palm Beach area. Hello everybody, welcome to Fruitful Trees, and look at this tree and how fruitful it is. It is mangoes, and mango season is almost here. This is my Pickering mango. It's a dwarf mango tree, and it's here in front of my yard. It stays small, and it's just loaded with mangoes, and I wouldn't know that if it wasn't for all the information that's out there of how to pick mangoes and grafting over seedlings and dwarf versus big or vigorous trees. And I learned all this by researching. And when I research, I find many different sites and a lot of people talking about mangoes, but there's two people particularly I learned the most from about mangoes, and I continually watch both of their videos, and I try to speak to them as much as possible. They have so much knowledge through experience over mangoes. The first one is Alex at Tropical Acres Farms. He has a tremendous amount of knowledge and experience in growing mangoes, and he has a very informative website that talks about each variety of mango, and he has over 300 varieties on his farm, but he talks about all these different varieties of mangoes, and I learn what mangoes grow well and what mangoes get diseases, and it's so cool. I'm going to put a link to his website below. The other website is Truly Tropical, and it's a farm, Truly Tropical, here, a mango farm that Chris has here in the Delray Beach area, and she has amazing videos on all different types of varieties of mangoes that she's growing on a farm, and talks about them and gives great descriptions. And when I was and still now want to learn about a new mango, the first thing I do is I go to both of those websites and YouTube channels to learn and see what they're doing, because they have so much knowledge. If you're looking for mangoes in West Palm Beach or South Florida or anywhere in the world, there are a lot of people that sell mangoes, but these two are the most popular places here in West Palm Beach, if not all of South Florida. Truly Tropical and Tropical Acres Farms. And I'm so excited because recently the Fruitful Five got together at their farm at Truly Tropical, and we did a whole bunch of videos. But before we did the other videos, I had Alex and Chris from Truly Tropical and also Tropical Acres get together and talk a little about their farms and answer some questions about the different types of mangoes that grow. It's a short clip, but this is just a glimpse of what's to come when the Fruitful Five meet up with Julian and Bobby and myself. And we had such a blast, and I'm looking forward to presenting those videos in the next set of videos. Depending when you're watching this, links will be below. But this is our first video we did here with Chris and Alex from Truly Tropical and Tropical Acres Farms. It was a blast to hang out with them, and I'm looking forward to doing more videos with them and also with Tropical Acres. And we were discussing our amazing event we're going to have on Father's Day, getting together and doing an amazing mango tasting for everyone. But if you want knowledge about mangoes, check out these sites, and here we go. Hello everybody, so here we are at Truly Tropical, and here's Chris and his Alex from Tropical Acres Farms, and you two are both the most biggest and popular mango growers here in the West Palm Beach area. Have you been to this farm before, Alex?
Yeah, on several occasions, but it's been about 12 years. So I remember, I don't know if Chris remembers me coming here, but I
remember you in the breezeway back in the old days.
I think I was here probably 3 times, and this would have been in 2011 or 12, I suppose. Probably I came more than 1 year, just to kind of introduce myself and try a few different things that I probably didn't have in production at the time. But other than that, I would run into Chris periodically at the Zill Nursery back when I would buy trees from Zill. But I haven't done that in a few years because we pretty much produce all our trees now. So it's been like 2 years since I'd seen her.
Yeah, and this farm has changed tremendously in 12 years. I see the change from the videos I did back in the day, and even now it's changed so much.
Yeah, and we've changed a lot of things just recently too. It's sort of always a work in progress. I think I've gotten everything how I want it, and then after that I see something else I want. So it's always evolving somehow.
Yeah, one thing I noticed about both your farms is and correct me if I'm wrong, but your farm tends to find hard to find varieties from other countries, and you propagate them at your farm. Whereas you do the same thing, but you have more in your farm of your own name seedlings that you've planted years ago that are starting to come to fruition now. Would you say that's an accurate?
Yeah, in fact, we have some trees that came from Chris's nursery a long time ago, like our Tess Pollock, our Ryan tree, and I think at least one or two of the Rosa trees that we have came from here. And interestingly enough, the Rosas turned out to be like super dwarfs. Like they're like, one of them is this tall. At this point, it's got to be 10 years old or more. And the other one is maybe like this tall. So whatever you grafted to made them dwarfer than they would even normally be.
That's crazy. And of course, they're crazy productive, right?
Yep. Very productive trees. In fact, they've got mangoes on them that are like that size right now. So.
Well, with all the different trees you have, and I know you're both so busy you don't have time to keep in track of what everyone's doing, but is there any tree either of you or both of you don't have yet that you want to get for your farms?
Oh yeah, I mean, like in general, there's a bunch.
And what's the top 2 mangoes that you don't have yet that you'd like to get, and what's the top 2 mangoes you don't have yet that you'd like to get?
Top 2? Top 2. I guess some of the varieties from India, which there's been a lot of fakes of, and Pakistan too, like Anwar Ratal and Chansa, are 2 that I don't have that I get a lot of requests for. Besides that, like as far as domestic mangoes go, I can't really think of any off the top of my head. But there's probably a few others that are from other countries that I get asked about sometimes that would make the list as well. So those are just a couple.
So the Chansa that is here is not the real Chansa? Is that what you're saying?
I've run into so many fake Chansas. I'm not saying that nobody's brought it. I'm sure somebody has. But identifying the real one can be difficult. And then another one that I asked for a lot is Langra. And in India, the reality is there's like a dozen different kinds of Langra. And so which part of India is referencing the Langra when the customer is asking you for it? So there's one from the USDA that's a total fake. And then there's been others. Anwar Ratal, there was a guy that was selling them that they turned out to be fake. So a lot of fakes and phonies, unfortunately. But at some point, the real one pops up. Like we have the real Sindri from Pakistan because the USDA introduced it a long time ago, and that's verified to be the real thing. So, but it took like 8 years for it to fruit, or 7 years, or something crazy like that. They don't like our warm climates.
But there's like Banganapali that is like actually 3 of those in India, and so we have one of the 3. It's a real one, but it's not the same as the other 2.
So as far as I can tell, the one Banganapali that we have here, which was introduced by the Zills back in the 80s or whatever, is the Banganapali of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana states, and so people from those states recognize that fruit. But in different parts of India, they also call it Safeda. They also call it Banishan. Depends on the state and what language they speak. So in northern India, they have something that they're calling Banishan as Banganapali, but it's not necessarily Banganapali. So if you go to Uttar Pradesh, like one of the northern states there, what they're calling Banishan might be different than what they're calling Banishan in Maharashtra or one of the other states. So, but I'm pretty confident that the ones that the Zills brought is the one that's in Andhra, because the people from Andhra, they look at the pictures of it and they've had Cecil's or even in some cases Gary's fruit, and they say, yes, that's the real thing. So we're growing that now too. And it'll be a year or so before it fruits.
Yeah, it's a nice fruit.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's very aromatic. All mangoes have a little bit of aroma, but some of them just fill the room, and that one is one of those. Wow.
What about you, Chris? What's 2 mangoes that you don't have yet that you'd like to find or get?
Actually, I mean, I've gotten a lot of new varieties lately. I mean, I just have just a start of each variety, and I just can't think of anything right now that I'm wanting that I don't have. It's really hard to restrain yourself, though, in the world of mangoes because there are so many good varieties in Florida. I'm sure in other parts of the world too. And you know, you think, okay, I've got everything just as I want it, and then you taste another mango, and you're like, okay, I got to find a place for it.
Yeah.
Now, how big is the farm here?
It's just under 5 acres, but there is a little bit of it that's taken up by the house.
Sure. And how big's your farm?
It's just under 8 acres, and then I guess I'll count my little tiny postage stamp backyard with it too. So.
All right, everybody, how amazing was it to see those two legends in the mango growing fruit tree propagation in the same screen? Amazing. From the day I started learning about mangoes, I was like, if I've seen both of them on the same screen, that would be so cool. And I'm so glad they were there. There was a brief appearance by Julie and Laura from Laura Farms, and we're going to be presenting a whole bunch of videos soon that we took at Truly Tropical. Really cool stuff, and I'm so excited about that. If you want to see other videos by Chris and also Alex, I have a bunch of them on my website. Get out there and support all the people that are selling mangoes out there. Also, I'm going to put a link below to Laura Farms, Julie and Laura. Learned so much about him, about mangoes, and so many other fruits as well. And this is just an exciting thing to be growing trees and be friends with people that have been doing it for so much longer than me. So definitely check out their websites and look forward to these Fruitful 5 videos that are coming up in the near future. And thank you to Julian and Chris and Alex and Bobby and everyone else that's part of the Fruitful 5. Tom couldn't make it this time, but we'll be seeing him again real soon. And remember, Father's Day, mark your calendars. We're going to have a big mango event here in West Palm Beach, Florida, at the Tropical Acres Farms area. And if you want to taste a tremendous amount of different varieties of mangoes, mark your calendars for Father's Day. Put your comments and questions below, everybody. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and keep growing.